can't wait to see this one.
Of all the superstars on the roster, this guy is amongst the hardest working. That goes without saying.
Definitely shout out to Don Chaos. We know you got our back, and we got your back too, man. Denver, Colorado all day, brother. We're definitely going to hook up with you. Much love to Carnival Spirits for putting us on as well on this YouTube, man.
Shout out to you, Don Chaos, for, what is this episode, like 126 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
You've been putting in work, bro. Respect. Y'all doing some shit for the community, and the fam out there appreciate it. So just keep doing what y'all doing, you know what I mean?
Congrats to Don Chaos for 1,000 subscribers. Whoop, whoop.
Keep it going, man.
Congratulations, Don Chaos. Yes, keep it going, man. Good luck to you, fucking Don Chaos, and fucking hell yeah on your 1,000 fucking followers.
You know who it is. It's Ouija Mac, bitch. Shout out to Carnival Spirits. And fucking shout out to Don Chaos one time. You know what's going on.
This is my brother. Everyone, Don Chaos and Brother Lynch Hung here.
Yeah, Carnival Spirits. What's up, man? Don Chaos. What's up? It's your boy Brother Lynch Hung. We out here tonight.
Fuego Flays and my nigga Don Chaos. What's going on, B? It's my brother right here, my boy. Excuse the left, excuse the left.
Yo, what up, y'all? This is Don Chaos, and I'm with a very legendary man. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Hey, Sean. Yeah, we at the gathering, y'all.
Yo, 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 yo. What is up, everyone? Y'all already know who this is. This is Mr. D to the O to the N to the C to the H to the A to the O to the S, your friendly neighborhood JUGGALO, the Karma Millionaire. If you don't know, now you know. And if you still don't know, well, chat, let him hear it. This is the Hours of Chaos podcast, episode 138, y'all. 4 years going strong, 138 episodes going. And yeah, tonight we are joined by very special guests. It's been a long time coming. You could say it's finally been aligned. So tonight we are going to be joined by, straight out of Flint, Michigan, the one and only Project Born. Let me get a Project Born chat in the chant in the chat, y'all. Project Born. Yes, let me get a PJB in the chat. Hell yeah. And yeah, I believe we are ready for them. So we should just go ahead and get it. Because I know.
Hold on the outside. Pack.
Whoops. Don't know what happened there. But yes, this interview's been put in the work for quite a while, and it came at a better time because Project Born is going to come on. We're going to delve into some of their history. Also, we are having them on because they are promoting their autobiography, Forever Living in the Jets. So links down in the description where you guys can go pick it up at Project Born's website. Pick up that book. Also, pick up other stuff from that website. There is also all links to Project Born down in the description, because that's what we do here on the Hours of Chaos podcast. We help promote. These guys have been in the game for years, y'all. And tonight, they're going to come on here and tell y'all a little bit of their story. So let's get some of them on.
Brother,
what is up, y'all?
What's going on, brother?
Just chilling. What is goody?
Oh, I have a good noise. My bad.
Oh, it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mike Shepard and Frank Nitty of Project Born.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hell yeah, when I saw that you were joining too, Mike, that just made it even better. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a very good episode.
Right on, man, right on.
So I guess we'll get into how we usually start out the interviews, like whoever wants to go first. Like each of you can just like give like your name, a little description about yourself, and then we will get on with the questions, like where you're from and stuff.
Yeah, I'm Frank Nitty. I'm from Project Born. You know, we out of Flint, Michigan. You know, we just dropped a new book, Forever Inject, like he said before. Yeah, it's been burning off the shelf. It's off the hook. It's a good read for everybody. Everybody need to get it, check it out. It's gonna be dope.
Oh yeah,
right on. My name's Mike Shepard, man. I wrote the book with the guys from Project Born. From Genesee County, lifelong resident, 810 Southside. Yeah, so I'm happy to be here, man. Thanks for having me on.
Hell yeah, and we've actually been talking about getting Nitty on here for quite a while, but I guess the perfect time came.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess we'll get into like the question is, how did you guys like hook up to want to like come out with this like autobiography?
Man, we had been wanting to do it, and you know, and we had been talking about it like years ago, but you know, we never really knew about the route to take to really get to where we were going, you know. And then Poke brought it up to me about Mike wanted to do the book, and I'm like, okay, you know, as like, so you know how you go across so many people who bullshit you and bullshit they process, or you like he might not really know how to put together this book, you know. And then I finally got to meet him, you know, and talk to him. I knew he wasn't bullshitting, so then I was just like, you know, this can happen, you know. So Mike gets most of the credit putting this book together, because you know he came to us with it, and he really put the work in, you know, to get it done. So we got to give him, you know, the big part of the credit, but one, making us believe that he could do it, for one, and then two, him really getting it done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Him really putting in the time and putting the process of putting together. You know, a lot of times, like, you know, we don't, you know, I'm a modest person. I know when somebody puts in the work, he put in the work. You know, so when you look reading this book, you know, we told him the story, but he brought it together. You know what I'm saying? So.
Hell yeah, and if you guys want your copy, there's links down to get your copy. I'll make sure to definitely buy my copy, and you never know, I'll possibly even do a review for it.
Yeah, I hope so.
That'd be great.
Hell yeah. I guess we'll get into like a lot of the questions that we typically ask like some of our guests, and either one of you can answer this. Like, since all of us have grown up on music, what's the like first song that you guys remember hearing that like made you fall in love with music?
You talking about for me?
Oh, that's for both of you to answer.
To make me fall in love with music.
Oh yeah, it could be like anything. Like for me growing up, it was like hearing a lot of the stuff my parents was listening to, like Michael Jackson, Prince, and all that shit.
Yeah, mine go back a little farther. Like when I was when we was living in Kentucky, when I was a young guy living in Kentucky, and the main music that we used to play was like soft rock. So when we had these radios, this big radio, and they had these we had to put big C batteries in them. So you had like 6 batteries put in here, and this is Kentucky radio station, so it was mostly soft rock. So some of my things like maybe I really liked was some Eddie Rabbit. It was Eddie Rabbit, Hall and Oates. It was ZZ Top. Like that was like my first run-ins with music, like because rap hadn't even really hit the scene really good at that point. I was a young cat. It had to be when I really started taking in, probably 1980, 81, when I first really even had a good recollection of encounter with music. For me to like, okay, I like music, like, but I was, it was, I was a lot of soft rock before rap even really took off. So that was all we listened to because that was all they played on the radio station in Kentucky. We was in a small town in Kentucky, so they wasn't playing much like on the radio. So that was what they would play, and that's what made me like really like music.
Oh yeah. How about you, Mike?
Yeah, coming up, my old man was into like the Rolling Stones and like old AC/DC and stuff. And then at some point towards the late '80s, man, I got a West Coast mixtape. Just one of those kind of dollar bin tapes back in the day. I think it was like $2 or something, and it had 6 in the Morning by Ice-T. And like it totally made me switch, man. I went from being like into rock and roll, and then it was like, all right, man, I'm keyed into this rap thing, man, and so I kind of I jumped in with it, man, and never looked back, really, I guess.
Hell yeah, that's pretty much how I've grown. I've always grown up on like rap and rock, and those are like the two main styles of music that I've always like fallen in love to. But I'm pretty much open-minded. I like all styles of music and stuff.
Yeah, me too. I like all music, man. I play all kind of music now. Like I play more R&B, I believe, than I do rap. So when I do play rap, it's like more old rap, Ghetto Boys,
Hell yeah,
Jeezy, Pac. Pac is my go-to. That's my go-to playlist. Like every guy, like when you have one of them days, man, you play that Pac, and you get every emotion when you playing a Pac playlist. You get every emotion when you playing it. You know what I'm saying? You be ready to ride on somebody in a minute. Then you talk about you think about your mom. You think about this, and Brenda had a baby. Like you go so many emotions when you're dealing with Pac. Like I just love the emotion.
Exactly. That's one of the many reasons what I like if an artist is not afraid to be diverse. And Tupac is a perfect example that he was very diverse. He could do hardcore shit. He could do soft shit. He could do shit that makes you go, oh shit.
Yeah, he. That's what when I really got into Pac like that. When he finally distinguished himself as being, I think, one of the GOATs, if not the. If you think like overall, like in rap artists, we talking about with charisma, with aggressiveness, with a soft side, with appearance, you're not gonna get nobody over Tupac. There's not one person you can name that has every quality, but him. Like he covers every box, like and that, I mean to me, he covers every box. He had flow, but he was really good with his words. He was educated, inspired when he had to be, and then Tupac is when I finally got on Tupac, it was just like I love Scarface. My favorite rapper in Bangladesh Day was Big Daddy Kane.
Hell yeah,
I love Kane, man. Kane was he just had this. He was so smooth. Kane was so smooth, man. and his delivery was just that quick. He would flow like him, but I mean, I just love music. When I got turned on to music, like from soft rock to rap, everything. When I get turned on to music, it's just like next level.
Oh yeah. And one of the questions that we usually ask our guests, if both of you can remember, what's the first ever album that you both remember buying, like with your own money and stuff?
My first purchase, man. Mine's got to be between either Esham or Vanilla Ice.
Oh yeah.
I only bought so many CDs, when the burning era kicked in, you go to the burning CD man, and he'll burn you every CD for $10. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, hold on, excuse me for a second. Sit your asses down before I fuck y'all up. Yeah. But when I was actually going to the record store, I think there's only a few records that I ever bought at the record store. I know one was the Vanilla Ice, the Ice Ice Baby, the album. And I bought that. I think I bought more Esham albums than any album ever, like that I ever paid for in the store. We buy the cassettes of Blasphemy, the Nodis. I bought Closed Casket a couple times. Kill the Fetus. Esham, I think I bought was the only record that I think I continuously bought. And then I bought Bow Wow. I think it was The Price of Fame. I think I bought a Bow Wow. He had one pretty good CD. Them is like most of the ones that I like ever bought, like as far as buying CDs. And I just recently bought some records. I don't have to play, but bought like Michael Jackson Thriller, Prince, Hall and Oates. But that's like buying records. That's about my whole thing of buying records. Like I bought more Esham than anything. I think I might have bought LL Bad.
Hell yeah, that's a classic album.
That's a super classic. That's so slept on it don't make sense. LL is slept on, I believe, as an artist.
I agree.
I don't think they give him the credit. I like when they keep talking about who's the greatest and all that. I don't think it's a lot of them that can really deal with L. L was, they see that movie side of him, and he kind of drifted away from doing music to doing movies. And I don't think he gets the credit from the lyricist he was. He was a hell of a lyricist.
Oh yeah, and there's a few movies that he's been in or roles that he's been in where he shows that he's actually a talented actor too.
Oh yeah, he's talented. But the thing about it, when you jump over and you cross over to these, you do something different, then they don't give you the credit. They don't give you the credit because of what your stature is as an MC.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They, when they look at you as a rapper, they're like, okay. And they never gonna give you credit for acting. Like when Pac started to switch over to acting, he was a great actor. I think he played that Juice role in Bishop and Juice. I think Tupac played that role to a T. Like I don't think nobody could have played that like he did. So I think when you switching over, people don't give you the credit because they look at you as being this great artist as a rapper. So you're not gonna get that same credit as an actor. They just won't. Yeah, so that's the way. I mean, LL, I think, is slept on big time.
What about you, Mike? What were your first albums that you remember buying with your own money?
I never had a whole lot of money anyway. A lot of times we would mixtapes, and we would kind of pass around some mixtapes or something. So there could be anything on it back then. You just dub a bunch of songs on there. It'd be like just a lot of local stuff or whatever. And then when I was a little older, man, and I could actually when I got my license, I would drive up to Hyder Records on Corona Road on the west side of Flint there, and Esham, Project Born, Nodis, ICP. Like pretty much anytime I had any money, man, I was going up there and just pissing it away on albums, you know. So yeah, it was you know, a lot of local Detroit stuff at the time, you know.
Hell yeah. I've pretty much grown up on like that New York stuff. I've grown up on that West Coast stuff because I live on the West Coast, but I just, like I said, I just love music. It doesn't matter where it comes from.
Right.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, man. Man, we used to listen. My uncle got me turned on to a lot of rap. He was a serious hip hop head. You know, he played everything. Rakim, Cool G.
Yeah, I love Rakim.
Man, I think Rakim, you know, I think he gets slept on a lot lately, you know, like now too. I think people are prisoner of the moment. You know, everybody's like, man, he's the best. They're like, man, but they go like, you go and listen to some Rakim. Rakim is his vocabulary was so in depth, man. He paints a picture for you perfectly. You know, Rakim was great at it. Like, you know, he was. I think he was in that era. I think he was the guy.
Oh
He was
yeah,
that
he was
guy.
like one of those rappers that could, like, whatever he was talking about, he could put good images in your head. Like you could imagine what he was talking about.
Yeah, him. You know, I used to listen to a bunch of Rakim from my uncle. My uncle used to play him. He would play. Man, he played. That's how I like learned like a lot of my hip hop. My uncle would play a bunch of this stuff, man. And then we would record off the radio. You know, we have a cassette, put the paper in there, and then wait for the song to come on the radio, and then, you know, play it. And, you know, then when you want to start recording on the tape, you would take the paper out of the top. You know, It might be before your time, man. I don't know. You know, how old are you? You know,
I'm actually 31, but I do remember doing that.
Yeah, that was like I remember all the time. I used to wait like in the middle of the night, and I'd be laying there, and you wait for your song to come on the radio so you can record it on the set. So I wait, and I'm waking up in the middle of the night to try to put record so I can get my song. Like, yeah, them were the days, man.
Oh yeah. And you guys are actually a part, in my opinion, you guys are actually a part of like Michigan hip hop history, basically.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it. Yeah, man, we done put in some work, man. You know, it ain't always been the best role, but it's been a role. Think we've been in the game for 28 years, man. You know, 28 years is a long time. Like, you know, for you to like still be doing it. People like still to pay you for shows. People still come pay for features. People still, you know, support. You know, you put out a book. People support books. People support our CDs. People buy merch. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just the way the underground works.
Yeah, and I always tell people hard work pays off. It doesn't matter what you do, hard work always pays off in the end. And you guys have definitely been hustling and grinding for years, so you guys deserve it.
It's been like, man, and I'm telling you, it ain't been always a great road because, like, what a lot of people do, I think a lot of people get caught up with when you just being an artist, and they think like everything they see on TV is like all they get to see is the glamour of it. They never get to see the work that goes on to make you look when you get on stage, and they think touring is a party. Like when you tour like we have, like when we usually do it where we're at work, so we don't get the party. Like we don't have the luxury of having a bunch of people go work for it, and we just sit back and do, you know, like, you know, put our feet up and this and that. We go out, we sell our own CDs, we meet with everybody. Like we've never been like, you know, what we had. So you imagine like you do a show and you've been out there at the show at 5 o'clock, you know, setting up merch, doing this, and then you get back to the room at 2. But then after the show, probably at 12 or 1, you got, you know, people that want to meet with you and talk with you, and you tired as hell. You know what I'm saying? You have to make that time for everybody, like, you know, the whole family. Like you have to make that time for them and sign autographs and everything, you know, and talk stories and all kind of stuff. Like, man, you know, the game is, man, it looks glamorous, but the work you have to put in to get where you're going is hell. It'll wear you out.
Exactly. And that's why I tell people it may look like it's easy what I'm doing when I set this show up, because I just turn my camera on. No, I have to make sure this is set up. I have to make sure that is set up. And I think a lot of people say it's not just the artists that put in work, it's everyone. We all play our part. Like people that write books, or the people that conduct interviews, like, or the people that review the book or the product, like people like me and stuff. We all play our part in it, basically.
Yeah, the finished product is what people get to see. They don't get to see the work that goes into putting this product up there. Or we gonna say there's people who usually like that made certain things possible, like more back in the days than now. Like we're more hands on now. Like we don't travel in some big entourage, this and that. It's usually like we roll out, like me, Pope, Mike roll with us, sometimes, and then my boy Big Will, like that be it. Like we rolled just that deep, and we rolled just like that, and then that'd be all. Like, and then we had to do everything. We carry our own merch in. We blue collar. We really get in the trenches and get it done. Like, because I just don't see like I don't like procrastination. And one thing, like now, like since I've been injured and stuff, I be procrastinating sometimes, and I don't like it. And I hate that I had to do it now because I'd be hurting a lot. You know what I'm saying? There's so much stuff I came with from my hospital visit last year. Come home a diabetic, and shit, and getting a car accident 2 years ago. I don't go a day for the last 3 years without no pain. Period. So I hate procrastinating. I hate to wait for somebody to do something when they know what to do and they just don't do it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it irks me right now to like sometimes procrastinate, but I be having to. You know what I'm saying? But I be trying to get at it as much as possible. But the work you have to put in, man, is strenuous. Like people just see the finished product; they never see the work that comes in. You know what I'm saying? That's my point.
They don't like see the blood, sweat, and tears that comes with it.
Yeah, because they think it's so easy. They think it's like when they see the finished product, everybody just thinks it's easy to do. How you think like how many rappers has actually became to fruition since in the last 10 years? How many people have been rappers? Anybody now with a microphone and a computer can make a record.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they rap, but they can make a record. And then when now it's like, you got everybody rapping, everybody singing, everybody doing something, which is cool because I love the hustlers. I don't care what you do. If it's what you do, you hustle in any kind of way you get it to get it done, you got to get it done because people got to eat. So however you choose to do it, you do it, and it's the way I look at it, like, but I think like, it ain't like it was when we first started. When we first started, you had the artists and then you had the fans. And it was a big separation.
And you guys have been putting in work. I mean, you guys came out when you were like basically still in high school, am I right?
Yeah, well, it's at the end of it. I skipped all the high school. I'll be honest with you. Time I got to the 9th grade, I skipped that almost every day, every class.
Y'all were like kids when you started coming out.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you this: like when we originally start writing. This is when we just start writing. I think we started writing like in '90. Me and Pint, we just, it was just like I start writing, and I got the notion of writing from my uncle. My uncle was a writer, and he was a performer. He wrote all the time. He was, I looked up to him. He was a big influence to me becoming a rapper, period. Like I used to always see him do it, and it just like, it just became on me. So, because I never wanted to be a rapper. Rapping was so far away from me doing in my future at all. I wanted to be a lawyer. I was a schoolboy. I was smart as shit. You know what I'm saying? Rap was something that just developed out of the blue. I just picked up a pen and just started penning. When I came back to Flint from Kentucky, and I moved back to Kentucky to go to high school, and I stayed like a semester and came back home and started writing. Here. And that's when I seen my boy Pint was writing. We both had these notebooks we walk around with. Like, man, let's be a group. Like, fuck it, let's be a group. Like, what we gonna be called? And my uncle, again, he always seems to come up in this. My uncle is instrumental in this whole thing coming together. And the way we got the name Project Born, he was getting it cut in the back of his head. That's how we got the name Project Born. He was getting Project Born in the back of his head, I think from a song that DOC was doing. I think he took that and put that in his head. And then we looked like, we're going to be Project Born. And that's how we got the name. And we've been that ever since. We never was like, how everybody's always, man, we was this first, then we was that. We was Project Born from jump. We wouldn't
Oh, yeah.
never, you know, we had different names. Like our rap names was different. Like when I first started, my rap name wasn't Frank Nitty. It wasn't. My rap name was Homicide when I originally started. Like my first 5 or 6 years of rapping, my rap name wasn't the same. Like,
Yeah, and I noticed that happens a lot. Most people do eventually change their name somewhere down the line.
yeah, I took on the thing of Frank Nitty. I watched Untouchables, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I seen how Frank Nitty moved. He was just smooth. I'm like, I'm Frank Nitty. I want to be Frank Nitty because he was the way he moved he was just smooth. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, it's like me. I'm smooth like that. So I'm like, so I took the name Frank Nitty and then, you know, adopted it. It just wore on me. So now even my granny calls me Nitty. She do. She's 85. Like you know, usually people would call you whatever your nickname was when you was younger. Like people would always call you that. Like, you know, people who knew you from that, they would only call you that. Then it's like when I took on Nitty, like mostly everybody, you know, calls me Nitty now. Even my granny, she's 85.
Yeah, that's pretty much like how I am. I've been called like Don Chaos for like years, for as long as I can remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's like, you know, man, you talking about putting in work, man. Man, I'm gonna tell you this. The book tells you a little bit about our journey. Like, I think that might be just a fourth of the story. To be honest, it's like a quarter. That's the first quarter. Like, it's so much more that we could have put in there that would have people be like, what? Like, how the fuck y'all get by? How do y'all get by this? How do you get by that? How you get by this happening? How you get by that happening? Like this story had to be done. We had to come up to the crib and then we sit down in the basement and we have a drink and talk. And I'll tell you some stories. You be sitting there like, man, what the? How the fuck you survive this? How did you survive that? How do you survive this? Like, man, like and you know, I try to be me. I try to be candid as possible for the book, even the interviews. Like one thing I don't do, I don't shortcut nothing. I just tell you like it is. If we fucked up here or this happened or that happened, if you ask me a question, I don't give a fuck what the question is. I'm gonna give you a straight answer. I don't sugarcoat nothing.
Exactly. Like all the times like the time when you and me hung out at the gathering, you told me a lot of knowledge bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn.
Yeah, like you know, that's just the way I like to roll, man. Like you know, I don't say nothing to, you know, I'm not a very offensive person to people, but I'm not the person like if you we doing the interview or we doing this and that, and the truth has to be told. I ain't the one that trying to. I'm gonna cut this. Like I was telling Mike, I was, you know, a couple times like, man, a couple questions that I thought he should have asked certain people, he didn't ask. Like, man, I'm like, dude, you have to ask them. That's good journalism. You know what I'm saying? You can't be like, okay, I gotta spare somebody's feelings. No, you don't have to spare nobody's feelings. This is a book where this is a tell-all. Most of this shit was, you know, some of this shit was 20 years ago. If motherfuckers turn around and still be mad about something that happened 20, 25 years ago, then they got a problem within themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not, you know, I'm not the person. I'm like, man, I'm like, man, you should ask this, you should ask that, you should ask him. Then I was like, man, what on you? Like, man, you should ask this. Man, I did not, man, dude, it's good journalism. Like, you can't be scared to ask this question. You know what I'm saying? You got the man right here. Anything you want to know, you need to ask him. Right there.
Exactly. And I think that's why a lot of people seem to really like my interviews because they're just laid back and chill. And it's just like talking with a homie, basically. And that's why I think a lot of when I have guests on, they always like, wow, dude, that was the most laid back, chill interview I've ever had. It's not like your typical interview. I'm like, yeah, because that's what I like to make it. If people have something they want to get off their chest, they're free to do it. I won't censor them.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's like, man, the journey is not over yet. But
and that's why I like to have people on my show. I like to have up and coming people, maybe people that never heard of, and then I like to pay homage and respect to the people that have come before me, like you guys and stuff, because that's why I like to give back and I like to help promote people.
We appreciate it, man. We appreciate you having us on here, man.
Because I'm one of those people that always like recognize when someone like really like has something going and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like you guys would like the interview that I did with Flatliners. Like a lot of people really love that interview. They're like, damn, bro, how'd you make that happen? I'm like,
right, man. You know, it's Man, I don't know, man. We make sure everybody go get this book, Forever in the Jacks.
Oh, yeah.
RealProjectBorn.com.
Oh, yeah. And I bet when you guys first hooked up with Isham and did a track with him, you were like, whoa, I did not expect that to happen.
Yeah, like, it was strange, man, because, look, first we ended up doing a show with them. Like, we didn't really get to see them meet them that night. You know, they come in, like, we in Flint. The first time, really one of our first shows, like, you know, outside doing the talent shows and shit like that. We was at the Capitol Theater down there in Flint, downtown Flint. And, you know, they come in, you know, it's him, Mastermind TNT, you know, they in all black, they got the mask, they got their little bandanas across their face and shit. But, you know, everybody, know E, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, heard his music and everything. So everybody's just like, man, is he shouting? They're like, you know, you had that, it's that shock thing. Like, that's the guy right there. Like, the guy we always listen to all the time. Like, you know, he was been putting it down before everybody. You know, he was just that good. Like, so we was sitting there like, man, like, you know, this dude, we didn't really get to meet him like that night. So, and we performed, we thought we was pretty good, we thought we was pretty good. I thought we did great. But shit, this motherfucker Isham put on a show for the ages.
Mm-hmm.
For the ages. I'm sitting there like, God. So
yeah, he's still there rocking live shows.
Yeah, he I'm telling you, the motherfucker's smart and talented at the same time. But after we did that, like a few weeks later, we got with him to do the song, right? We got with him to do the song. We go to Detroit. We had this studio called The Disc. It's this real, I don't know if they probably is, but this is a classic studio. Like a lot of the big artists have recorded here, right? Mm-hmm. We go there. George Clinton's there.
Oh yeah.
He's in another room getting fucked up. You know how George do. George is George. And we come in, and he come in. He got his thing. He got his, he got his goddamn keyboard. Puts it down. Start telling the beats. So, but one thing, like we at that point, like all you sitting here is like it got surreal. Like, man, we here with fucking Isham. Like, it's hard for you not to get starstruck.
Oh yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta act like you belong. You know what I'm saying? If you're an artist, and even if you get in there with some of the idols, some people that you look up to, you gotta act like you belong there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like how I try to take it at that time, but it was like surreal because I'm looking like, this is fucking Isham. That's all we get saying. Like, this is fucking Isham. So as we get in here, and we going through dropping these vocals and getting it done and putting this shit down. I think we played the goddamn song about 1,000 times that night. Like, we played it back to back to back to back on cassette. So we had to play it, rewind it, play it, rewind it, play it, rewind it. You know what I'm saying? It was on cassette. And I think we listened to 1,000. We just kept listening to it on the way back to Flint. And then everybody, all our friends from the projects came over to my house. We in my basement, and we just played this song continuously. Like, that lose.
Y'all were basically on cloud 9 by then.
Yeah, because you think at that time, it was an argument in the neighborhood where this is who's the better, Isham, Scarface, or Ice Cube or something like that. It was 3. I'm like, Isham actually got into that conversation. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
cool coming from someone who's from like your home state and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm just like, because look, when I originally first heard about Isham, my boy knew about Isham before me. And he came to me, he said, man, I know some motherfucker named Isham. He creates his own beats. He does his own rap. I said, man, get the fuck out of my face. He ain't no better than no Scarface and no Tupac. Y'all damn Muslim. Get out of here. And then I finally heard him one day. Played him for me. And I'm sitting back like, this motherfucker hard. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there like, when my first time really getting to hear him, like, because I'd never heard him. And I'm like, there's no way he's on the level with Scarface now. And then I heard him. I said, like, he is kind of like sits over here by himself. Like, his style, like, and I continuously say this to a lot of people. I say, we still trying to catch up to his old shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're never going to be that, like, as far as like underground rap, like that wicked shit, whatever. I don't give who it is. They not touching none of that.
Exactly. Even Isham is another artist that a lot of people don't admit is very diverse with his music too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think he really set up the thing for that wicked shit really to take the next level. Like he was the first one, but he put the motherfuckers so far ahead. Like there's nobody can do nothing with like Kill the Fetus, Closed Casket, Judgment Days, the Red Table
Words.
Booming Words. Oh man, them take the Nodis albums. Like them is he had about like 10, 12, 13 classic albums before we even got out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? When we got out the gate, like he was probably like, almost killed the Fetus. When we got out the gate, hardly like, you know what I'm saying? He was like he was just so far ahead of the game, man. Like, and as he continues to drop, and still to this day, he could have stopped it at Dead Flowers, and we still be chasing him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's how much respect I believe. That's how far I think he was so far like ahead of the time as far as this wicked shit goes, like this underground, any part of it. I don't think there's nobody that did it better than he did at that from that whole juncture of him for his first 8 to 10 records. Like I don't think we're gonna ever hear nothing like that.
Exactly. And you have other people that are trying to do that stuff, and then you can just tell by listening to them, you go, okay, those people either had to have been listening to Esham or something.
Oh yeah. Anybody on the underground who does anything that's wicked or something had to listen to Esham and to really take it on, to take on the underground thing. You know, I think Esham was the person who created and put it together. I think ICP, as far on a business aspect and everything of putting the whole culture together, I think they perfected and ran with it. You know, as far as the marketing side of the underground thing, I think they took it and ran with it. I don't see like there's nobody who's ever been as good at marketing, as good as performances as the Insane Clown Posse. Like they, I think like I tell people to this day, I say they're the best show I ever seen, like with my own eyes. You know what I'm saying? I done seen Run DMC.
And you guys still do business even to this day, which is
dope. Yeah. That's them my homies, man. Like ICP, them my homeboys, man. They you know, we've been cool for forever, you know. And even when we had a stretch where we didn't really get to talk much, they was, you know, doing their thing, we was doing our thing, and you know, they still showed us mad love. We showed mad love, you know, and it was just like, man, with them, like they took the game, the marketing game side of it, and actually the performance side of it, and they elevated it. You know, same way Esham came in and laid the blueprint down to this is the wicked shit. Like as far as the music side, he was the god of this shit. But Insane Clown Posse took the marketing side, the performance, the visualization of everything, and brought it to life for you. You know what I'm saying? They helped create this whole culture that comes together. So, you know, it's been good, like to meet and know both parties. Esham is great. We still, you know, cool. Insane Clown Posse is cool. They cool. You know, sometimes they get bad raps for whatever, you know, and that happens. That comes with success.
Mm-hmm. I tell people there's a reason why they've proudly been labeled now as the world's most hated band.
But you know why? Because you can't make everybody happy.
Exactly.
That's a problem. You can't make everybody happy, so somebody's gonna be upset. So when it comes to like you know, with them, and you know, and they come with the rigors of success. Like whenever you're successful, some people are going to hate you just because of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, because I just remember like back before, like even before they really got big, like before they really blew up, you know, Esham was already on the thing, like us, them, Esham, like we used to do some shows, you know, and this was right before we even signed the Psychopathic. That's how we even met ICP. Like,
that's how you guys are part of history. I always say you guys are like the first real act to sign the Psychopathic. You got to meet ICP when they were still like local, but they were still like having a great following around that time, even back then.
Yeah, they was coming on the scene. I had never heard of them. Like when I first met them, I had never heard of them. Like we was doing a show in Flint called the Network at the time, And Esham was doing it. Esham, and then he bought ICP with him. So I'm like, who the fuck is these motherfuckers? I never met him, and then I finally met him at the show. We went on, they performed, he performed, and we got cool with him. And they talked to us about doing the show. We did the show. Then the rest is history. We ended up signing with Psychopathic a few months after that, and it was what it was. Like they did a lot for our career. We did our music, we put her down our reps, but them and Esham was instrumental in the giving Project Born the boost.
Exactly.
To jump over the wall of get into the game, and we all kind of collectively coming from different sides of town. We in Flint, they in Detroit, this side of Detroit, they in this side of Detroit. So all of it was like it started to become, the underground, the game. Because we used to do a lot of like in stores and stuff like that together and stuff. So, but them was the days, man.
Exactly. Like, how can you guys explain like how the music scene was in Detroit, like from your guys' perspective, like growing up like in Michigan and stuff?
But because we first we were down here in Flint. So we down here in Flint, right? We from Flint, and they were up in Detroit, putting it down. We would, we did shows up in Detroit. Like when we was a lot younger. See what happened after we got to Psychopathic. It was a few things we missed, out on a bunch of crucial shows because see what happened. It was like we had some issues with our managers. Our managers had issues with each other at a point. You know what I'm saying? And with that happening, they cost us some shows, early shows that we had. We had shows lined up with some people, and we didn't get to do. I remember one that was with Too Short. This was when Too Short was that guy. This was 90, 95.
Yep.
Too Short was Too back in the day. Too Short was that guy.
Yes, he was, and
he
he's
was
still dropping bars even today.
I feel like Too Short. You know what I'm saying? Too Short, but at that point he was and we had a show with Too Short, and we didn't get to ride. I was a lot younger. I ain't like I am now. I would just get on the highway and go. Back then I was younger. I think I just came 2021 at that point. But when I did, I just wasn't. I didn't have a whip to just get up and go to shows. I think the show was out in Monroe, something like that, and we didn't get to make it. And I think Psychopathic, they was hot with us about that. And then even though I don't think they knew the inner workings of how that these mugs wasn't gonna take us to the show. They're because of the issue that the two managers had, and they had just got to the point where they were just fuck it. And we no, we want to go. It's Too Short. And they got up there everybody in there. They got everybody at the show had on Project Born shirts, and it was looking for us. And then we didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? That was a moment that could have been a breaker. Could have been a backbreaker. You don't show up to the show. You still new, kind of, but you on the scene, and it didn't kill us, but it should have. It should have, because you think this is another show out of town. We had did another show before, but this was with Too Short. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in there got Project Born. Everybody, this is an underground show. You know what I'm saying? This was gonna be our time to really show. You had them moments where you had your proving points. We had already had our proving point on the underground. You're we're gonna have the underground in there, but it's gonna be a lot of hip hop heads in there who like Too Short too. So this is our chance for them to see us. And kind of was what it was, man. It didn't kill us. But I think
you guys just kept pushing. You guys are still pushing.
Man, the road to doing this, man. You don't have we done broke up, and I left the group before.
Yeah, they always say life is like a roller coaster, and it's true. You have its ups and downs.
Yeah, man. It's just like, man, we done been there with doing all that, man. You know, and like, and what I try to always try to tell, like, with my brother and them, like, I try to tell my brother and them is at all times the three of us have to be a unit.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be a unit. We have to stick together, no matter what.
Yep.
If we got a record, I don't care if we under a record label or this and that. We have to stick together and say, look, we have to do what's best for us. Like, we have to do what's best for us. Like, and then, you know, and we have to do what's best for us. And I've been trying to tell them, like, man, you got to stick together. Like, one thing we do, we don't cross each other. We look out for each other on all things. My thing is, like, you know, I look, you know, Poke is my real brother. We blood brothers. We got the same mom, everything. And Pint, we've been knowing each other so long. Like, he's like a brother to me. So, you know what I'm saying? He's like, and I look out for him like brothers all the time. Like, no matter what, we out on the road. We need anything, then you know, me being the oldest, I have to be on it. You know, and that's just the way I feel. Like, I had to be on it. So it's like, you know, we'd have had issues, and a lot of times we just be great, but it just be, you know, a lot of things be little bullshit issues. You know what I'm saying? Like if you think about it, like, and if anybody who knows my boy Pint, it's not nothing I'm gonna say on here that I probably wouldn't say with faith, but ain't nothing that people don't know about him already. Motherfucker crazy. You know, every group has this crazy motherfucker. He's that guy for us. Like, he has been that guy from start to finish. He gets into them certain moves and it's just be like, I'm Pint. You know, I'm me. I'm just gotta be me. You know, like when they tell you, like, you can't take the project out of somebody, like, you know, and I try to explain to them, like, it's cool. That's cool that way, but you got to know how to move in different manners, because people are looking at you, or you're in the legendary status. When you put 10, 20, 30 years, like you come as a legend, people are looking up to you. So you have to be in position. You have to be able to explain to these people, or why would you do something just stupid?
Exactly. Like, I see you guys like as the big three as far as like Flint hip hop goes. There's MC Bree, Dayton Family, and then there's you guys.
Yep. I think, you know, Top Authority in there. I think I think Top Authority. I think with them, I think they kind of they should have dropped more. They was that good. They was that good. Like, to me, like, I like right now, you look at my thing, I got the Top Authority album in my title. Like, I save all the albums that I like. The Top Authority is that damn good. Dayton Family, that damn good. We work with Breed, you know, rest his soul. We work with Breed, and the way he moves about the studio is like, man, it's masterful, because the way he just goes in and gets to it. Breed don't waste no time. He goes in and gets to it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't finna lollygag bullshit. He goes straight in here to me. He start putting that, then he goes straight to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he was so smart with it. He was so good with the pen, but he was so smart with it. And we got to do a few days with the motherfucker. And he's a cool motherfucker, man. Breed was a cool motherfucker, man.
Oh, yeah. I always hear a lot of good stories about him. I remember even at the gathering, you shared cool stories about him with me.
Yeah, he's a cool motherfucker, man. We got to, like, you know, we've been blessed to deal with a lot of people. I told him, like, you know, and I told me and Pint, we talk about this all the time about, you know, we just 3 kids from the projects, you know, who, if it wasn't for music, we probably would have never been out of the projects like that. You know what I'm saying? We got to move around the country from doing music.
Exactly, and that's pretty much like me. Music is one of those things that I could really say saved my life. It helped me through and cope with a lot. A lot of your guys' music helped me cope with a lot of shit in life.
Yep, but you know what? See, the thing about it, how I feel like a winner, because I would have did it for free. That's how much I love music. I would have did it for free. I did 28 years of music for free.
Yep, that's how you know you have a strong passion for it.
Yeah, but people paid me to do something that I would have done for free. You know what I'm saying? So you know how when people are like, man, y'all didn't get as rich as y'all don't seem to get as rich as us. I mean, we got way richer. See, because people don't look at everybody looks at it in monetary gain. Think if it wasn't for music, I might not have ran across either one of y'all. It's a lot of friends that I made on the other side in Utah and other places, and I got this cat I talked to. He lives in Russia, and we talk all the time. Like if it wasn't for music, I would have never met none of y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like you think like, man, you think about like all the days we lived in a project, we could have been dead. I could have went to prison over so much stuff, like for selling drugs or anything.
Yeah, and you guys are definitely a success story and stuff.
Man, it's and people, because people, but people are always going to look and judge you by what they feel the money that you amass in the whole game.
Exactly, and it shouldn't be about that at all.
I don't put too much nothing in monetary gains, like, because that doesn't never tell how rich you really are. You always tell how rich you are, like, by what you do for people, how people deal with you. You know what I'm saying? How they react to you. Like, I done seen rich people kill themselves. Money don't buy happiness.
No, it doesn't. There's a lot of people that are like famous and they're still not happy.
Yeah, and they're not happy. You know why? Because a lot of people who kill themselves when they go broke. Like, I tell them I've been broke. I know what that shit's like. Look, I was born broke. I didn't have nothing. So ain't no situation you can't put me in that I ain't comfortable.
Exactly. Same
You know
here.
what I'm saying? I done had money. I done been broke. I done been on all spectrum. Right? I done been to jail. I did. What are you gonna do, like, to really gonna make me be like, I feel uncomfortable? I can bounce back from every situation, and that's all. That's all I care about now is making my kids happy, grandkids, whatever. The game gonna be the game. I love doing music. But I know my day has to come where I have to walk away from music and give it to these young boys, man.
Exactly, and that's why I think that a lot of the game needs is it's good that there's a lot of artists like you guys that are like helping put out these young cats that you guys see that have talent and stuff.
Yeah, like, people don't know, like, man, I had mentored Light from the time I met him at 17. People didn't know, like, a lot of people didn't know, like, man, I had brought Light up from yay high with me, taking him on shows, put him on. We did the what was that? The Hollow Wicked. What we doing at the DVD we did with Psychopath? We opened up the show Misery, and I think it was Hollow Wicked or something.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the year, but I know which one you're talking about.
St. Andrews Hall. I let my man Light do a verse on there. At the end of our set, he did one of his songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of people like that we helped out, and that's just like Light was one of the ones that I took under my wing and carried with me all the time. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, there's no way, like, everything that I learned in the game, man, if I don't pass it on, then what good is it? I went through that for nothing. Like, I pass on information for free. I don't charge people to pass information on. We talk, and I'll be like, hey, and I pull them aside and I give them what they do what they want with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't survive in the game almost 30 years and not learn nothing.
Exactly, and you're never too old to learn something. You're always learning new stuff every day. There's even stuff that I'm always learning. I'm like, well, man, I just learned something.
I learned from my 7-year-old daughter. You hear me? She does stuff, and she's like, "No, Dad." I'll be like, "Oh, okay." Like, I didn't even know that.
And that's one thing I think the world is very lacking is there's a lot of people that don't teach a lot these days. Like, the best thing about life is it's supposed to be a lesson, and you pass on stuff that's may have happened to you, and you pass on to those people.
Right.
And I always tell people that too. I'm like, I've been through this, I've been through that. I can give you this advice, whether you follow it or not. That's up to you.
Right. That's what I say. I was like, yeah, but it's my obligation to put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I have to do that. I mean, I think it's Like I started putting out like when I was younger, like we used to have like in the neighborhood, we had a bunch of cats who rolled with us, and they was rap. We had about 15 people that rap, and we always would do songs together and everything. Like and we'd take what we learned, and like we might learn something from ICP or E or we just be on the road learning something on the run. You know what I'm saying? And then we'd do that, and we'd come back and and pitch it to everybody else. And that's just the way the game goes, man. To me, like I'm always the person that wants to try to help teach people, whether it's in life or whether it's in music, whatever. Like I don't know, man. I think it's one of my worst traits is I'm too caring of a person. I care for too many people, and when I do that, sometimes I end up doing more for somebody than they would ever do for me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm the same way.
But that doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not looking at it to try to to get a game, any other kind of game. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I think that's one of them. I would say a bad trait, but it's not really a bad trait. It's a good one. But sometimes people take it a different way.
Exactly. Like I'll help someone and people will be like, why are you helping that person? I'm like, because in my right mind, I feel it's the right thing to do. And I like to help people out.
Right. That's what I do. That's what I do normally. That's just what I do, man. I hate the world being as evil as it is now. You know what I'm saying? I hate now, sometimes I'd be like, man, I hate that I had to bring these kids into this world the way it is, the way it has become. We always had, our things having to coming up under our skin color. We had situations, you know what I'm saying? I've been in a lot of situations, and it's always gonna be a fight. But at the end of the day, you're like the way the world is right now, as evil as it been, like man, it's too much, man.
Yeah, if anything's taught us these last few years, that life is very short.
Oh yeah, life is too short, way too short, and what people need to understand is like, man, we gotta start looking out for each other.
Yep.
Yeah, we gotta look out for each other. It ain't about this and that. It's about us looking out for each other.
Exactly. So, what are your thoughts on all that stuff, Mike? So, how was the scene where that you remember from your perspective growing up?
Oh, it was crazy, man. There was a lot of good stuff going on back then. You had Esham, ICP, Project Born. It just seemed like the early to mid '90s, man. There was just so much good music, and originally I was looking towards West Coast, Ice-T, some of the stuff going on out there, and I listened to some of the East Coast stuff. Once I started looking in the background, man, in our own backyard, there was so much good music in Michigan that I really kind of quit paying attention to everything else, and it was a good time to come of age, in the mid '90s. It was a really good time. And a lot of good shows, just a lot of stuff was going down. There was almost too much going on at the time to keep track of everything, but I tried to do my best. Like I said, you go save the flyers, we'd save the tapes. I mean, this was everything to us when we were 15. This was a big deal, and it's it's nice to see that it's still going on to this very day. You know what I mean? And I'm glad we're still talking about it. I'm glad the performers are still out there doing their thing, and I'm just glad to be here for the most part, man.
Yeah, and another question for you, Mike, is what inspired you to be a writer and stuff?
It's something I've messed with over the years. When I was a kid, I used to write for teen section for the Flint Journal. When I was in high school, I used to write stuff about Project Born, ICP, Esham. Just trying to endorse the stuff. And I had a love for writing, man, and I kind of never let that go. And a couple years back, I started writing some books, man. and it was something that I enjoyed, and I was really digging it, man. So I just decided to just keep going with it, man, and just start writing about things that were important to me, you know. And this whole scene, you know, this is kind of like it's kind of cool to get it down for history's sake, you know what I mean? So yeah, I was always messing around writing and stuff, but you know, it just kind of got real serious over the last couple of years, and this is where I'm at, you know.
We'll definitely keep it up, bro. I could see you doing more work with like other artists that want to like help get their story out there.
Yeah, you know, it's just fun to be able to document history, man. And like I said, we're all getting older, you know, and at some point, you know, like if we don't write this stuff down, man, people are gonna, you know, forget about it, or it won't be told right or whatever. So, like I said, I'm just trying to capture some of the stuff, so we'll be able to have it for future generations and music fans, you know. So, yeah, I'm just happy to be involved, even on this part, you know. It's just great.
Hell yeah.
I feel you, man.
Definitely agree.
Yeah.
And we'll probably ask a few more questions like, Nitty, who is someone in the industry that you maybe haven't worked with that you would love to work with?
That I want to work with?
Like, I think the possibilities are endless. So it could be like a guest spot that's really out there.
Oh, man, probably Tech.
Oh yeah.
Tech would be, you know, I think a great hookup. The Ghetto Boys, we always want the Ghetto Boys. We've been wanting to do them with the Ghetto Boys for a minute. We thought like when Bushwick was, you know, alive, we thought the 3 and 3, you know, and we thought that would have been great. You know, the original Ice Cube, Eminem. You know, I wanted to get on track with Eminem to see if I can stay up with his ability to dominate the microphone. You know, to be rough to keep up with him, but you know, I want to take a shot at it.
Hell yeah. And I think the possibilities are endless. Like, I think in these last few years have taught us that nothing is impossible. Like, people are willing to work with anyone and help put other people on. So I think those are very good choices.
Yeah, you know, but the game has been kind. I got to work with somebody. So I got to do a lot of shows with a lot of people. Man, it's been like, man, the ride is like, it's just been a long ride. Like a lot of people, like I got to meet. You know, a lot of people you got to perform with. Man, it's just been a wild ride, man. Like, you know, we done been a lot of places. We done done a lot of things. It's, you know, just still being able to do music, you know, right now, like it's kind of been it's been good, you know.
Hell yeah, and you guys are doing a great job. So just continue to keep up the great work.
Man, I'm trying to keep it together, man. You know, I'm trying.
I hear you.
With the grace of God, you know, I'm gonna continue to, you know, do some things. You know, this book has been, you know, great. This book has been great for us. I think this was a real good move to do this.
Hell yeah. And you guys definitely have my support. You have Carnival Spirit support. We love what you guys are doing. We love what you're doing, Mike. So just keep it up, y'all.
Thanks, bro.
And you guys are always like welcome on the show. Like anytime, if there's anything you guys ever want to promote, you guys are always welcome to come on here and promote it. You guys need any flyer material, just send that stuff my way and I'll help promote you guys as well.
Okay. Yeah, we appreciate it.
So yeah, I think that would pretty much have it. So, Mike, before we go, we'll let each of you have the plate. Mike, do you have any shout outs, and can Don Chaos and Carnival Spirits get a shout out?
Say, you want to do a shout out?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Mike, you want to go ahead? Mike, you go first, man. You've been quiet today.
Oh, right on, man. I just want to shout out Project Born for giving me a chance and letting me do my thing and showing what I can do to get their story down. Shout out to my wife and my kids. Shout out to the 810 man and basically all the underground for providing music for me when I was a kid, man. And they're still doing it today. And like I said, man, I really appreciate it to the underground and Project Born and everybody. So yeah, thanks, man. And thanks for you for having me on too, dude. It's cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I want to shout out, you know what I'm saying, all the family that ever supported us, every Juggalo, every show, everybody who ever came out to the show, bought merch, whatever supported us in any kind of way. Thank you. We don't do it without y'all. Got to thank for my mom, my mom and my grandmother for, always supporting and being supportive. My uncle, all my family, man. Everybody up at Psychopathic. My man E. And everybody who had had their hand in us doing what we do. Thank my man Mike, man, for helping us get this book together, man, get this boy out the ground. Just thank everybody, man, that ever had their hand in on, our development. Everybody.
And Nitty, I have a dude who does artwork, so just hit him up on Instagram. His name is Lakeland Lunacy. If you ever want him to do any artwork for you guys, just hit him up. He does phenomenal artwork. He's done my logo that you see there in the corner, that dope logo.
Yeah, I need some artwork now. Man, when you get off here, can you send me send me his name? Can you text me his name?
Yep, I'll send you the link to his Instagram.
Sadly, this will be my last.
And one more question before you go, Nitty. We want to know, and this is for both of you, do you guys remember PJ the Unknown? JT the Unknown?
Yeah. He was on the Halloween Hallowicked flyer, right?
Yep.
I appreciate I don't know what is going on. I can't even hear your words because you went into robot mode.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah,
Again, you guys are always welcome on the show.
Right on, man. Thanks for doing this, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, man.
Hell yeah, and if you guys are at the gathering, I'll see you guys there. We'll share another drink again, Nitty.
Yep, we'll be there, baby. We'll be there.
Hell yeah. And you guys have a good night.
All right, man. Take care, man.
Peace. Yeah. And that was Frank Nitty, y'all, of Project Born with Mike, the writer of the book Forever Living in the Jets. Another good Hours of Chaos podcast down, y'all. Shout outs to Frank Nitty, all of Project Born, Mike, the writer of Forever Living in the Jets. Make sure you guys link down in the description to where you can follow Project Born on their social medias. There's links to their website. Go pick up yourselves a copy of the book. And yeah, go pick yourself up some Project Born swag. And yeah, links down in the description. And you guys already know who I am. I am Mr. D to the O to the N to the C to the H to the A to the O to the S, your friendly neighborhood JUGGALO, the Karma Millionaire. If you don't know, now you know. And yeah, there are no giveaways this week. So, but next week, there's definitely going to be a major giveaway. So make sure you guys tune in, and I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace, y'all.